Let's go into the yawning abyss that will consume my soul and end my sanity. Ooh. It's pretty. Wow. This would be a pretty breathtaking room to be in. When you get past the mild Lovecrafty stuff, it looks like a room you'd see in like a Zelda game. I've come into the goddess's temple.
It appears Harry didn't advance any further.
I can't go any farther. I've tried everything and this shit isn't working. It isn't working. What do I need? I followed the sequence correctly and my hand. I can't get that thing to work. I need to cross the river down there. Anyway, for what? My hand. I hope he's just saying his hand doesn't fit correctly, like because he doesn't have a fish hand or something. And not because he like got his hand destroyed or something. Thinking of those like horrifying moments where somebody's like, stick your hand in this dark hole in the wall. Don't worry, it won't eat. You're not gonna get cut off or anything. That. Did it keep going? I didn't click again, did I?
Those are drums of some sort. Oh, I screwed up.
Simon says.
This technology never ceases to amaze.
I like how she just looked away from them for some reason. Like, I can't spoil the solution by visually memorizing it. It has to be pitch only. So she looked up for some reason. But she was seeing these symbols fill in. That's the 4 symbols, right? That's life and ooze, evolution, eternity, life, ooze, eternity, life, eternity. Well, at least you get to be immortal, right? Shame about your husband and also everything else.
Harry said it didn't work for him, so it shouldn't work for me either. Unless there's something different about my hand. Anyway, Norah, you know what you've got to do.
Wow, that... She didn't even recoil in horror. That went so bad so fast, just instantly right up her arm. Oh my god. I was not ready for it to happen that fast immediately while she's still mid-sentence.
My hands. Look at my hands. This is definitely not a dream. And I'm starting to doubt the others were dreams too.
Interesting. Interesting that your fingers don't just spread out uniformly, your middle two lock together. Chapter 5, Sunken. I don't want to do underwater levels. What if there's a Leviathan? I mean, I guess if I'm a fish person, I shouldn't be threatened, right? I should be like
I should be scared, but
on the same team.
it's hard to explain what I feel, but it isn't fear. Not a bit.
So beautiful down here. And of course, columns for days.
Another one of those gates, like the one I saw in the temple.
Whoa.
I'm back to being me.
Was it not easier to just build a goddamn ramp? I guess it is a transformation portal. So on top of switching you between water and land, it also changes you between being a fish person or not. So this is just happening now, huh?
It's hard for me to understand how these gates work. What happens every time I cross one of them?
Were you a fish person all along? Like that first one I took that took me to the loading screen, it teleported me into the middle of that pond. And also turned me into a fish person. And now I just switch back and forth, like, on a whim, by clicking on these. It's so pretty. Am I going to be interacting with stuff underwater? Because I imagine this becomes a puzzle mechanic.
Another panel of this strange technology. What's it for? Something related to the currents?
I figured. You have to make them meet in the middle at the same time. And one of them takes longer. Oop.
Wow.
The lights just kind of turned on in here.
It's pierced by underground currents.
Yes, hello, it is I. I am me. I don't really see anything else here. Boop.
That architecture again. Where is this gate going to lead me now?
Daylight. Seems we're done with the rain.
What a quiet and peculiar place.
So he never made it this far because his hands didn't work. So where did he end up? Is this where all the fish people lived? In weird diamond houses? Oh. What have I done?
Some sort of handmade tribal painting. Looks really primitive.
Fucking judgy. I deem your preschooler turkey hand to be primitive and of inferior technology. Maybe they just liked hands. It is kind of noteworthy though, right? Like when they're in fish form, they're merged together to a different hand orientation.
Primitive hand paintings.
So if they have 4 separate fingers, or I guess 5 counting with them, but like that, you know.
I wonder who used to live here. It seems it was abandoned ages ago.
Like when their main fingers on top of their hand are 4 instead of 3, and they're in a human form.
I understood that.
Those were giant creatures that had 3 talons. Oh, there's a opening in the rock there. It's not supposed to be there. But maybe our hands merge together into those flipper form because they're imitating the original creatures. There's no palms here, just the fingers.
Heavens, slaves and masters and... Nicole. Wasn't Nicole in the notes?
These are bowls of coral?
Looks like some sort of food. It's not human food, though, and it's fossilized, too.
I don't even know about fossilized. It's just normal for it to be coral.
Although they are the same style, these huts are much simpler than the magnificent architecture I've seen up to now.
These are pretty fucking magnificent. I don't know what you're saying. How do you even put these together? Look at the bizarre way they fit together.
Whoever the inhabitants were, they were living here against their will.
Slaves, yes.
Someone vandalized this mural. Some hands look human, but others are amphibian hands.
They seem to be scratching out and getting rid of the faces of the masters. Let's check across the bridge, because that might be a dead end. Beautiful inside here. I'm not sure how the hell this is happening though. This is what happens. This is kind of the effect you get when you have like a lit pool in a dark room. Distorted light comes out from the pool and goes all over the ceiling and walls. But there's no water inside this building to be projecting the light everywhere.
Primitive bowls and plates.
Whoa, look at that laminar flow. That bizarrely perfect stream of water. It doesn't even touch the bottom of what it's coming out of.
Some slaves die. Some slaves have water.
They're being converted.
Water animal. Is that what I am now? The inhabitants of this village lived at different altitudes. Some even lived inside the water. They used this sort of dam to lower or raise the water level.
They would change it. I think different ones of them had different levels of water tolerance, I guess, to be living in there all the time.
It seems that each family had to agree somehow to change the water level. I'm amazed at how organized they seem to be, despite them being so primitive. Being trapped here probably made them stronger as a community.
I don't like how she keeps saying primitive about this place. She's getting really condescending. Like, you've already seen that they have, like, intense, magic, crazy technology with the elevators and dams and stuff. And you keep calling them primitive. Like, I can't believe they were so organized when they were so primitive. It's like, what? You don't think they had basic communication powers? So I have to find all of the going by the thing we just read, there must be like 4 separate pedestals. I think I found like 3. Looks like they reset. So that's actually the last place I go to. There's 1. There must be a reason I want to do this, because that's how puzzle games work. If it exists, you do it, basically. Yep, there's fish hands.
It's quite disturbing to see someone's hand paintings from thousands of years ago. I feel connected to them somehow.
Disturbing? Why disturbing?
Fire falls from the sky. Awakens God. Black blood.
Black blood.
Is that black blood the same thing as the black ooze?
I assume so. I think it's also what your husband called God's
How can
blood.
I explain what's happening to me? What is the meaning of all this? God's blood, transformation, eternal life. I feel like I'm going through what was written in that inscription.
Yes. Those are new.
This reminds me of some prehistoric cave paintings. Like in the Cueva de las Manos in South America. Black blood in eyes, like in the well.
Black blood in body. You didn't let him say that part. It's very rude. That one had 4 notches. Huh. Did they all have different numbers of notches and I was supposed to press them in a specific order? I'm not sure. I guess I'll have another look at it if it fails. Again. They rely on their masters for sustenance. Just wondering what they, if they were trapped in this one chamber potentially, if that is what was going on. I'm just kind of wondering how they got food.
There are some hand marks made with pigments. I wonder if they mean something. I better draw them just in case.
Like they're a sequence? But they do have lines connecting them. So they both have the same marking sequence together. Huh. So I must have to do, maybe I have to press them all in that order. And that's the mistake I made? We'll see. I don't even know if I made a mistake yet. Till it doesn't work. In any case, there's no turning back now. I have to go ahead and find him. And find the answers to the questions I still have. I know I should be scared of what's happening to me, but I'm not. Truth is, it's been a long time since I felt so alive. In the water, I could see my hands. They had turned into bizarre amphibian hands, although I recognized them as my own. It's hard to put it down to words, but it was as if I were another version of myself. I've lost track of time in this place. I feel like I could stay here forever. As strange as it might seem, I feel a strange harmony with these surroundings. Everything reacts when I'm close. As if every living entity here is, in this lagoon, welcome me. I activated some more of these gates, like the one in the mountaintop temple, and, well, I don't know how to put it into words, but I can breathe and move freely underwater. I think you put it into words. The current took me to what looks like a town, a sort of cylindrical pit with houses all around the walls. It's much more modest than the ruins I saw earlier. There are murals like the one I saw before, but they've been defaced. Without a doubt, the people who lived here were the victims of the rituals. There's a small sink filled with black ooze. I heard some voices calling me, but they sound similar to the ones in my dream. But this time I understand what they're saying. Because you're giving in. You're passing the threshold. Maybe it'll just work, or maybe I have to do the puzzle. It's probably a puzzle mechanic. Which means I'll have to spend a while, probably, kind of running back and forth to press the buttons in the order these symbols are in. Hopefully it's bottom to top, which is my first intuitive idea of how to input this. If not, then we'll have to do it again, but reversed. I think I found all of them. It seems like there was 5, going by that diagram. I failed. Baby, baby. Alright. I want something else. Get me through this semi-fish kind of life. Glub glub. So bottom is white. Next is the yellow. Which I think was this way. Yeah, this part's pretty straightforward mechanically, it's just very time consuming to input. How do you feel about a relaxing jog through your cursed ruins slave chamber? Yeah, there's the yellow one. Next up is red, which I think was just right down there. Save us a trip if it's just the way out. Yep. It's funny because I noticed the notches kind of late into the process, and so I thought the notches were going to indicate the order I need to have to do them in. So I was close, but not quite. Fingers. And the squiggles are back where we started. We're probably good now. Yeah. Is this, I guess this is the one, right? Work. Yay! I'm like, please don't make me start over. Right, those two pillars were the ones that were going up and down in the first place. Right. I hadn't necessarily connected those yet, but yeah, the two pillars I saw covered in the glyphs when I went downstairs were the same ones I was seeing go up and down from up here. And that was essentially them checking stage by stage whether I'd put in the right input in the right order, I guess. So in addition to being the confirmation button, the one upstairs on that precipice is also the final input.
This civilization used these devices to raise and lower the water level. It's impressive.
You couldn't just go over there? I really thought the water level change was going to be more substantial than that. It just revealed this little bit here. I guess she didn't want to go for a swim today. She would chafe.